SXSW.com is recovering from last night's session at the Cedar Street, where we saw the all-girl geek girl rock band, and we just missed this conference. So I'm going to get these guys to fill us in because they were the panelists at this How to Rock South by Southwest conference. Let's start with CC. Charles Chapman, otherwise known as CC Chapman.
Yep. So you
grab the mic. You guys just toss the mic around and talk about whatever you want to talk about.
So the whole panel was about how to take all this energy and vibe you've got going on here at South by Southwest and bring it home with you to your business and your personal life and carry that inspiration forward so you don't lose it and you don't just crawl up in a corner in the fetal position and cry for the next week. And we had a lot of interaction with the crowd. We had candy, we had rock music, breaking through paper to set the mood and get people inspired and wired up and partying.
Yeah. Oh, we had so much fun, all of us. I'm Kevin Smokler. I was the moderator for this panel, and the whole idea was that we all want to feel the way we feel at South by Southwest most of the time, most of the rest of the year. And so we wanted to create a vibe of energy and liveliness and inspiration in here with this entire room functioning as a community together to carry the inspiration of South by Southwest on into your year and on into next. Some of us knew each other before. We didn't know Cece, and we've really just had a great time getting to know one another.
How do we keep the vibe rolling?
Dave.
Well, some of it is just boring practical stuff, like what to do with the 50 million business cards you'll have from the people you don't remember at all. And a lot of it is just trying to remember and keep in touch with all the cool people you met, and then tell your company, hey, I just met the guy who invented dice, or whatever crazy thing that you did. And I think that helps energize the people around you when you get back to the office.
I would say actually a lot of the questions we had revolved around how to make people in your office inspired once you go back. And so a lot of the questions we had today were, what do you do? And some people suggested things like lunches at the office, slideshows, shooting people video clips or Flickr streams or things like that of events, just to get people inspired. And I think Dave had one of the best suggestions, which is like find those little nuggets of beauty that you heard or interactions that you had with people that you can call out and talk to other people to bring that emotion and bring the joy that you had of the experience to other people.
Absolutely. And, everybody wants to be excited about their work. Everybody wants to feel passionate going to work every day. And the thing that creates it for me, and I think one of the messages we try to convey to the audience is the answer to any idea that seems too crazy is always yes, we will do it. No, people, we thought, oh, well, we want to have entrance music. Oh, and we want to break through paper. No, we want to do this. Well, that's not what a panel looks like. Didn't matter. We thought it was crazy. It didn't matter. We just said we're going to do it. And I think if you can feel that a little bit here for 3 days and carry some of that feeling back to your business, back to your company, it frees you to be creative and be passionate about your work in a way perhaps you weren't before.
Hey, this year's South by South was way bigger than it used to be. Talk about some of the added features and how you cope with just the sheer size of it. It's almost getting to Comdex proportions.
Well, I was going to say one of the things is I don't think necessarily the parties had good scale. So one of the things that we ended up doing a lot this year was just taking time as we met people in the hallways to say, hey, let's meet up later. Let's go grab a drink. Let's take some time and sit down and have one-on-one time with one another. And it did a lot more of that this year than last year. I also think, unfortunately, having to show up for panels earlier this year to get seats was something that we did. But also to not feel, to give yourself a sense of forgiveness, to not have FOMO, that you could go back and catch up on panels you missed later by listening to the podcast or following up on the blog posts that people might have written, or simply tracking down someone else who went and try to get the nuggets from them, the experience that they had in that panel.
And what I'm hoping is the new theme is going to be continuing panels beyond their expiration dates, so that whoever was on that panel, like we have formed a wiki that people can go to and get ideas and share ideas about how to stay inspired after South by Southwest. So basically, the idea is the panel doesn't have to end at the end of the hour; it can keep going online forever.
Tell us a little bit about yourselves, what your destination on the tubes is, and all that kind of stuff.
Sure.
Well, I'll go into work and fun. I work for eGear Magazine, the online editor-in-chief, so I came here shooting a lot of video and interviewing a lot of really cool people. But in my off time, I also have a lot of fun with DavidDylanThomas.com, just writing about movies and the things I'm passionate about there. So that's me.
So my work is the Advanced Guard. I'm a partner there, and my personal is cc-chapman.com, which links to Accident Hatch, Managing Great, all my photography, and it's sort of my personal blog and kind of my personal landing site that launches to everything else I'm involved with.
Hi, I'm Carla Borsoy, Director of Research and Analytics for Ask.com. That's probably the main destination. All the other contact information is actually on the wiki, which is after southbysouthwest.pbwiki.com.
I'm Kevin Smokler. I'm an author. I blog at kevinsmokler.com, and I'm the co-founder of booktour.com, based in San Francisco.
All right, let's brainstorm about ideas for South by Southwest in future years based on what you've gotten out of this one.
Last night, very late, untold hour, I ended up in a conversation with one of the programmers from Twitter, which of course is gained a lot of traction last year and really has become an indispensable part of South by Southwest. And he was talking about, I would love for a chance to just sit down with the users of Twitter and say, how are you using what we're creating, and how can we make it better for you? So I'm looking forward in the future to seeing perhaps a series of panels that are called Users Talk Back, where the people who create the tools we use every day, or increasingly common that we use increasingly more, are able to speak to the people who are using their tools and find out how they're being used.
I don't know. South by Southwest is all about the serendipity and going with your gut. So I think that all I can say is that next year I'll continue to do that and kind of go with the flow in each moment.
Yeah, I'm totally with you on there. I mean, some of the coolest things have been things I stumbled upon or walked. I walked into this werewolf game last night, which I made a business contact. We might be doing some business together, and who would have ever thought? I also think I'm hoping there's more parties that are of smaller scale.
Yeah.
Just because these massive things where you can't talk, I mean, they're fun. We all love those, but sometimes it's just too much, and you don't want to necessarily go off either. Do your private thing, which I've done too, but sometimes you want a smaller, more intimate gathering too. And there were some of those this year, and I want to find a way to make time to watch a movie. I haven't. But go sitting in a room for 2 hours in the dark just doesn't appeal with everything else going on. But I wish there was a way to somehow make that work.
Absolutely.
I want to run a panel on how to get old at South by Southwest. I've been coming here for 6 years now, so I want the panel to address such topics as, how to find time to take a nap in the middle of the day, how to tell your friends it's 11 p.m. I'm going home, stuff like that. Exactly. How to eat healthy instead of just the pizza that's lying in the corner. Yeah.
Yeah, we want the nap room, right?
We want a nap room. That's what we want.
Hey, we have a walk-on here. I just want to see what she has, what's on her mind.
The Rocks was my favorites thus far, as far as panels go, and
And now, who are you now?
lifting. I'm Margot Grace.
Oh, okay.
Chateau Margot with an O.
Okay, very good.
It's a silly website.
Why don't you ask a question of our panelists here?
Where's a good place to have a meal in Austin?
Okay, meal in Austin. Go ahead, Kevin.
I live in San Francisco, so I come here for things that I can't get in San Francisco. So I eat a lot of barbecue when I'm here. I go to the Green Mesquite Barbecue for Mexican. I usually go to Las Manitas around the corner. We all just came from there for breakfast.
Did you speak to Cindy?
No, we did not. But my favorite restaurant in town is a little bit further west called the Castle Hill Cafe. I highly recommend that.
Upscale.
Yeah, a little shishier. And there seems to be a lot of lunches at the Mekong Delta, the Vietnamese place on 6th Street, right across the street, basically due north of the convention center.
You've covered my
them,
ears.
yeah.
Shady Grove is the other place.
Shady
Shady
Grove.
Grove. We went to Shady Grove and had a great time.
Can you swim now?
I'm going to put in a plug for Guero's out on South Congress.
No, we haven't gone to Barton Springs.
Okay.
Guero's also excellent.
Nobody's been to Barton Springs. I don't think anybody here has been to Barton Springs that I've talked to. You've been?
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh,
you've
not
been, all
this
right.
season.
Okay.
This time. But,
Let's talk about
in like 2 days.
let's talk about some of the obscure things that happened here, like the book readings and the big circles of people where they pass the mics around. What do they call those?
Core conversations.
Let's talk about core conversations and book readings.
Well, I actually went to 2 of the core conversations. One was Breakups 2.0, and the other one was I'm Internet Famous. And both of those were probably some of the better panels I attended just because they were so interactive. Unfortunately, I think the room was a little bit teeny for some of those. But at the same time, I think that because the group overflowed, people were more likely to jump in and just become a part of the conversation. And I learned a lot from those things, hearing from other people, and actually gave me entrees to go up and talk to people because they said something that I could then gravitate to and hold and go ask them about that particular comment.
Just to piggyback off that, I also went to one of the smaller core conversations, and a little shout out for my friends from Philly who had one on co-working, Independence Hall, Alex Holman, hey. But yeah, and it's very valuable. It's interesting because that's something I actually saw at Blog Philadelphia. And again, I think it does work a little better when there's more separation between the panels. These were all a series of tables in one room. A little separation makes it a little more intimate, but yeah, it's nice because it isn't so much about one person talking to you as it is everybody on one topic just sharing ideas.
I didn't get to go to him. Now I'm kicking myself because I didn't know. Well, I saw them listed. And I'm gonna be honest. I saw them listed, and I was like, "Oh, what are these?" They didn't see them, and now I'm kicking myself. And I wish someone had told me that that's what those are. Now I know for next year. Now I got to come back.
I think we're good.
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
good.
we're good.
Yeah.
Hey, good. Well, hey, tell me where you're headed next.
Lunch.
No, I mean, in terms of conferences and other things like South by.
I'm going to be speaking. I'm going to be speaking at PodCamp New York City at the end of the month. At the end of April, and I may be heading down to the LA Times Festival of Books at the end of April also. And I always make a point to go to the Ann Arbor Book Festival, which is my hometown, in the middle of May. And my next tech conference, I may be at Web Visions in May as well.
Pass it to her. Yeah. Everybody talk about where you head next.
Oh, conference-wise, I think I'm going to go to a customer satisfaction conference. Very nerdy, geeky stuff to understand about customer satisfaction. Actually, in Ann Arbor in April.
I've got PodCamp New York coming up as well, and then I'm going to Little Rock, Arkansas to speak at a PRSA event, which is it's talking about the future of PR, and they're bringing in some new media folks to kind of scare the bejesus out of these people. And that's the next one that I can think of.
I'm going to put in a little shout out for my company's Digital Downtown, which is basically a place to see lots of really, really cool consumer electronics, which is going to be held in the Winter Garden in New York City. digitaldowntown-nyc.com. Lots of cool details there.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for being on Austin Cast. Appreciate it. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you.
Thank you.
CC?
Thanks.
Awesome. Thank you. All right.